Alrighty. Let's see. Oops. Should be live, but just double check that. See, whenever you try to do something differently, good afternoon, Joan, and everyone else who might be joining us. Hey, Paula. Doing this a little bit differently here today. Messing with technology. Hey, Barb. So, we are doing this as part of an event called Quest 79. So we're doing it on 7/9 for those of you who live in Europe. It's a little confusing for those of us here in the US where it's 9/7. But so it goes. And my good friend Rachel Earing asked me to be a part of this. And so because it's 7/9, there are all sorts of different events that people are doing around the theme of 7/9 and doing things for 79 days or doing 79 different things, different events or tasks or things like that. So I'm doing 79 minutes of Facebook Live. We'll see if I actually cut it off right at 79. But and no one is expected to hang out for the entire 79 minutes if you have other places to go at the top of the hour. But we're going to do as much as we can in the meantime. So, what I would like to invite you all to do is go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Go ahead and feel your feet on the floor. Or whatever part of you is connected to something. Allow yourself to feel that connection. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible, so as to receive maximum benefit from our time together. And just following your breath through your body, just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. Notice what you're feeling physically and what you're feeling emotionally. Now I want you to think about what your inner gold means to you. So we're doing today, we're tapping into your inner gold. And what is that gold? What is that bright, shiny stuff inside? Your true value, your true worth, your true gifts. Allow yourself to imagine what you could create, or rather what you will create, as you allow yourself to uncover what might be buried treasure at the moment. Allow yourself to be aware of why part of you might bury that treasure. Maybe you're afraid that if you tap into your inner gold, someone will try to steal it. Maybe you're afraid you can't trust yourself to be in touch with that inner gold. Whatever it might be, allow yourself to be aware of any fear or resistance you might have to really uncovering that buried treasure. Notice what you feel physically and what you feel emotionally. Notice what thoughts, beliefs, or memories might come up as to why there might be resistance. Allow yourself to be aware of what feels important. And take a deep breath. And let it go. And go ahead and tap along with me. And if you're just finding this and you're new to tapping, just do what I do and repeat back the words that I say, taking full responsibility for your own well-being if you choose to do so. Even though part of me resists finding my inner gold, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though part of me resists that inner gold, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though part of me resists that inner gold, and maybe I've been resisting it so long that part of me doesn't even believe it's in there. And I have all this doubt about there being any treasure. And even though I have this resistance, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who helped me bury it. Because I choose to be that free. All this resistance to finding my inner gold, all this resistance to uncovering it, all this fear of uncovering that gold, all this fear of finding that buried treasure. Maybe I'm afraid of what I would do with it. Maybe I'm afraid I'd squander it. Maybe I'm afraid someone will try to steal it. Maybe people have taken advantage of my value in the past. And I learned to hide it away. Because it didn't feel safe to share it. And after a while, it didn't even feel safe to be aware of it. Did I even make a treasure map? Do I even remember where it is? All this fear of finding it. All this fear of uncovering that gold. All this fear of finding that map. Finding that X marks the spot. And that's where the gold is hidden. All this fear of uncovering it. All this fear of what will happen. All this fear of the consequences. And all this fear that I couldn't handle it. I'm so afraid I couldn't handle the consequences of really being in touch with my inner gold. Which begs the question, what do I think those consequences are going to be? What am I afraid will happen if I'm fully aware of my inner gold? If I'm fully aware of my real worth? If I'm fully aware of how precious I really am? How priceless I really am? It scares me. All this fear. I'm allowing myself to process this fear. Clearing it at a cellular level. Clearing it back through all the times in my life where it didn't feel safe to share my value. And so I buried that treasure, trying to keep it out of the hands of other people. Even if that meant keeping it out of my own hands. I'm allowing myself to process that fear. Allowing myself to feel safer finding that gold. And it's safe to share it. Because the world could use everybody sharing their gold. The world needs people to share their gifts and talents. And I'm not bad or stupid for withholding mine. I just learned how to protect myself. And maybe there were times in my life where it really was necessary to bury that gold. Where it really was necessary to play small. And I love and appreciate those parts of me that were just trying to take care of me. And I choose to be open to the possibility that I can handle the consequences now. So it's safe for me to find my inner gold. It's safe for me to share it. It enriches me while also enriching others. I choose to feel really good about that. I choose to feel excited about that. releasing the remaining fears, and setting myself really free in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath and let it go. And close your eyes, check inside, and just notice what thoughts or feelings are coming up. And go ahead and share in the comments. This is interactive. We're co-creating this event together. Notice what thoughts or ideas are coming up about why you couldn't or shouldn't be more aware of your inner gold, what you might be afraid of. All right. Sarah Jane's excited. Excellent. Yes. Yes, Renee. It is a great modality. Right. Lots of yawning. Excellent. Feeling a lot lighter and positive. Cleared a huge block. Excellent. Sharing in case it meant you had nothing left. Yeah, and there's always more where that came from. Yeah, Janet. We forget about our inner gold because it feels safer that way. It's like hide it, bury it, and forget about it. And, so the question is, what will you do as you allow yourself to recognize your value and find ways to share it? And, like Silva was saying, the fear of losing it, not having any more. Yes, Wendy, please share the fun you. I've seen the fun you. It's fun. Let's do this. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And, we have, whenever we talk about anything that's along the lines of money, there's often a sense of lack. Like there's not going to be enough. So this idea of, if I'm aware of my inner gold and I try to share it, I'll run out. Allow yourself to be aware of that feeling that you don't have enough to share, or even if there's a part of you that might even be saying that there's barely enough there. Maybe a few doubloons, but allow yourself to be aware of that fear of there's not enough. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes. Even though I'm afraid there's not enough, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid there's a lack of gold, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I'm afraid there's a lack of gold, I've convinced myself of this. Maybe others have convinced me of this. Either they've told me that there's no gold in there, or there really isn't very much. And I darn well better protect what I've got. And even though I'm afraid there's a lack of gold, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who might be involved in this. All this fear that there's not enough. All this fear that there's not much in there. If I tap into this gold, I'll be tapped out pretty quick. All this fear of losing it. All this fear of wasting what little I have. All this fear that there's not enough. I choose to clear that fear. I choose to be open to the possibility that there's always more where that came from. As long as there's breath in my body, there's gold in there too. I haven't even touched the mother lode yet. I choose to be open to the possibility that I can't run out. There will always be more where that comes from. I choose to feel excited about that. I'm also allowing myself to be aware that I might be very scared about that. I'm afraid to find that there's that much gold. And that's why part of me wants to shrink to fit. If I'm aware of all this gold, I look too rich in comparison to others. They're going to feel uncomfortable around me. They're going to say I'm too big for my britches. Too big for my boots, for those in England. So I need to shrink down to fit. All this fear that I won't fit in if I really tap into my inner gold. So I play small. And part of me believes that's noble. I'm resisting my inner gold so as not to make others feel uncomfortable. Aren't I just so nice? Isn't that noble? Except when I allow myself to really look at that and what it suggests. Because it suggests that other people don't have inner gold. If I'm aware of my inner gold, everybody else will seem poor by comparison. Only if they don't have inner gold of their own. And they do. So rather than me shrinking to fit with them, I choose to encourage them to expand. To share their gold. To acknowledge it. If I shrink to fit in, insisting that I don't have much gold, then I'm not sharing my gifts as fully as I can. And I'm encouraging others to shrink as well. Yeah, let's all hide our gifts and talents. I don't want to play that game anymore. And I didn't do it because I was bad or stupid. I didn't do it because I was weak or lazy. I just did what I was taught to do. And there may have been people around me who told me to bury my treasure so as not to make other people uncomfortable. So we're all walking around sitting on buried treasure instead of sharing that treasure with the world. Because we didn't know any better. Because we were taught that's the right thing to do. Even though there are people out there sharing their treasures, people that I admire, people who I find inspirational, but I still insist on limiting how inspired I am. Because while I think it's great that they're sharing their gifts, it doesn't feel safe to share mine. I'm afraid I won't be as admired. I'm afraid I won't be as admired as they are. I admire them, but I'm afraid others will scorn me. And that's why I insist there's not much in there. I tell myself I'm afraid that it will run out, even though I know better. I know there's plenty in there, and that there's always more where that came from. And I'm allowing myself to clear these fears. Clearing them at a cellular level. And clearing them all the way back through my past. Back through all the times in my life that I learned about lack. This illusion of lack. I probably do that with money too. I'm definitely doing it with my inner gold. Or at least I used to. Now I'm allowing myself to be aware of the truth. I have an endless supply of gold. In body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Go inside. And allow yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. yourself to be aware of how in touch you are with that inner gold, how much freedom you feel to acknowledge it and share it, and also allow yourself to be aware of any other resistance that might show up, any other fear that might show up. And go ahead and share in the comments, please. Christina's smiling. Excellent. Certainly like that. So what's going on in there? What would you do if you were really aware of your inner gold, if you were really tapped into that? Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, why not me? Yeah. So often we look at images, maybe people's Facebook or Instagram posts, and they're living these fabulous lives, and we'll say, "Oh, why not me?" And that's an excellent question, and one that we always want to tap on and clear that new level of willingness. And that's really, excuse me, that's really a key is the willingness that, and excuse me, there is a something that tells us that there are consequences that will happen if we're more willing. There we go. Inner gold moved to wholeness and freedom. Yeah. That freedom to have that willingness. So, yeah, let's keep expanding on that. So close your eyes, take a deep breath. And I want you to imagine your most ideal life possible, both in terms of what you can have and in terms of what you can give. What does sharing your gifts and talents look like? And what are the wonderful things that you could experience in life? If you allowed yourself to be more willing. Imagining this ideal life, and ask yourself, why not me? And just see if there are some reasons. Sharing is caring. Notice what reasons might come up. It may just come up as a physical sensation. As you imagine your most wonderful life and say, why not me? Notice if you feel tension in your body, discomfort. Notice where you might feel it. Notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how strong it might be. Notice what thoughts, beliefs, or memories might come up as to why you couldn't or shouldn't be living this ideal life. Why you couldn't or shouldn't be aware of your inner gold and share it. Allowing your mind and or body to answer the question, why not me? Take a deep breath. Open your eyes. Even though I have reasons about why not me, choose to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I have reasons about why not me, I choose to love and honor myself anyway. Even though I have reasons about why not me, why I couldn't live the life of my dreams, why I couldn't make the difference I want to make. Even though I have all these reasons about why not me, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else involved. Because I choose to be that free. Why not me? Why not me? When I look at pictures of what's possible, when I see the amazing things that other people are doing, the wonderful things that other people are having, and I ask, why not me? And part of me wants to say no reason. But if I'm not experiencing it, there must be some reason. I choose to be open to the possibility that the extent to which I don't have what I want is the extent to which I'm resisting it. So when I think of this amazing life, and I ask, why not me? The answer is that I'm resisting it. Not because I'm bad or stupid. Not because I'm weak or lazy. But because I have old programming about why it's not safe. But I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that I'm afraid of having a fantastic life. So I come up with other reasons. Like a lack of energy. Even though I know that everything is energy. So there can never be a lack of energy. There can be resistance to it, though. Because I'm afraid of what I would do if I had more energy. If I didn't feel like I had a lack of energy, what kind of trouble am I afraid I'd get into? I'm afraid I couldn't handle the consequences of more energy. Or I tell myself I have a lack of ability or talent. Even though part of me knows better. I've got ability up the wazoo. And if I didn't already know that, I wouldn't be here tapping right now. If I truly believed that I had gotten to the extent of my ability, if I was already using as many talents as I already had, and I'd gone as far as I could. I wouldn't show up to tap. Why bother digging for treasure that I don't believe is there? I wouldn't. I wouldn't have even been aware of this presentation. Something inside me knows there's more in there. So why not me? What are these reasons I tell myself? And I choose to clear these reasons out. When I think of this amazing life, I may have a lot of reasons about why not me. But no good reasons. I am worthy and deserving of the best this world has to offer. I am a magnificent child of the universe. With more inner gold than I could ever uncover in one lifetime. And this world has so much to offer me. I get to decide what I really want to experience. And I choose to be willing to experience it. So when I look at what other people are doing, what other people are enjoying, and I ask, why not me? It's because I've been unwilling. Not bad or stupid. It's my old programming that has made me unwilling. I've been unwilling because I've been afraid of the consequences. I've been weighing the consequences. When I think about sharing my gifts and talents, when I think about experiencing things I think I want, I'm weighing the pros and cons internally. And if I'm not going for it, it's because my programming is telling me that the cons outweigh the pros. That it would be more trouble than it's worth. That it would be dangerous for me. And so I really choose to love and appreciate those parts of me that have been unwilling to put myself in danger. Someone else might say, I've been unwilling to do the work. But when it feels safe, and I'm more aware of the possible rewards, I put in the work. Maybe I shame myself for not working harder. Maybe I've even called myself lazy. Oh, why not me? Because I'm too dang lazy. And I choose to clear that lie. I'm willing to do what it takes when it feels safe. Laziness is just an excuse to cover up the fear that I'm feeling. All this fear of being willing. All this fear of the consequences. And I choose to reconsider that. What am I afraid would happen? When I'm not doing what I could do, I can assume there's some fear there. So what might I be afraid of? And I'm clearing that fear. I may just be confused about the outcomes. Maybe I'm afraid of consequences that really wouldn't happen. But someone else told me that it would. In so many areas of my life, I may be limiting myself because of other people's misunderstandings. Maybe they misunderstood something that happened in their life and then thought they were doing me a favor by passing that on. And I'm done taking their word for it. I'm allowing myself to do some fact-finding for myself. What are the consequences of being more willing? I'm allowing myself to let go of these reasons. Why not me? Because it's all here for me as well. I can see the same stars at night as anybody else. It's all here for me as much as anybody else. When I see other people breathing, I don't sit here holding my breath saying, why not me? I'm willing to allow oxygen. What else could I be willing to allow? And what am I willing to share? I'm willing to acknowledge my gifts and talents. I'm willing to become more aware of them. And I'm clearing the fear of doing so. All this fear that I couldn't handle that. That's just some old confusion. I'm setting myself free to be much more willing to share what I have to offer and receive more of what the world has to offer me. And it's a win-win situation. The more I do that, the more I inspire others to do the same. And that makes the world a much better place. And I'm willing to help make the world a better place. And I choose to really love myself in the process. In body, mind, and spirit. And take a deep breath. Go inside and see what's going on in there. Thinking about your best life possible and ask, why not me? Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Christina. What are you willing to allow? How much good are you willing to allow into your life? You're welcome, Paula. Thank you. Thank you for being willing to clear that stuff. Really, tapping into your inner gold and sharing that is such a win-win situation. You know, there's all kinds of benefits for you and all kinds of benefits for the world. Thank you, Louise. Yeah, it's me hitting those nails on the head. We are hitting them. It's a co-creation. Your energy is part of what makes up the words that come out. So Sarah Jane, we are brilliant. Thank you. So what else? What else comes up as to any resistance, any fear of being aware of your inner gold? Thank you, Wendy. Yeah. So Christina, how? Yes, Sarah Jane. How much good to allow in? Why put a limit on it? It's figuring out for ourselves. And go ahead and be tapping while we're talking here. As I often say, be tap on a daily basis. And so as long as we're here, let's use this opportunity to clear any stress or any limitations that might be there. And it's not a matter of should. It's not a matter of, oh, you should go out and get as much as you can and get as much gold as you can and do this and do that. So while I say that wealth and abundance of, monetary wealth and just a wealth of joy, happiness, health, love are there, it's not a matter of you should have more and everybody should be flying a private jet. Everybody should have 5 yachts. 3 is fine, really. So it's not a matter of how much good should we go after, as opposed to being open and willing and not putting a limit on it, because that's what we do is we put limits on it. We say, oh, not too much. No, just a little bit. I don't want to take up more from anybody else. And recognizing that the universe can afford all the good that everyone wants. And we might look around the world and say, no, there's so much evidence that that's not true. But that's the reality that we're co-creating. We are co-creating a reality where, it's the idea of, if you imagine a pie, and if I get a bigger piece, then someone else gets a smaller piece. And as Bob Proctor says, so imagine a bigger pie. Rather than imagining, oh, there's just that one little pie that can't get bigger, and so if I have a bigger slice, someone else has to have a smaller slice. Imagine, well, a bigger pie, and we both get a bigger slice. There's much more. And you can have your jet with blue carpet. Why not? Walk the red carpet to get to your jet with blue carpet. So what else? Well, so let's do this. even though I limit how much good I receive. Hey, Kimberly. I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I limit how much good I can receive. I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I limit how much good I can receive. Imagining that there's only just so much. And if I take more, someone else gets less. And even though I limit how much good I can receive, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Maybe anyone else who taught me about these limitations. They just didn't know any better. And I choose to re-educate them. All these reasons for limiting the good I receive. All this need to limit the good that I receive. All this fear of having more. Whatever that might look like. All this belief that if I have more, others will have less. And like Joanne wrote, I could imagine it like loaves and fishes. I could have as big a piece of pie as I want. And so could everybody else. And there'd still be plenty of pie left over. This doesn't mean squandering natural resources. I can take care of what I have. I can make good use of what I have. Without placing unreasonable limitations on myself. There's so much good to experience. In ways that are not harmful to the planet. I can be mindful. Without placing these unfair regulations on myself. About how good my life can be. If I have an awesome life, it's not a zero-sum game. It doesn't mean that someone else's life will be less awesome. In fact, I choose to be open to the possibility that the more awesome my life is, the more I add to the awesomeness of other people's lives. The better I make it for myself, the better it gets for other people. And I choose to pay attention. Because I may have a lot of old programming about how if I'm going to win, somebody else has to lose. That my wealth will take away from someone else. Who taught me that? I choose to clear that. My success benefits other people. And if what I want to experience does take away from others, I might want to reconsider my motivation. If my awesome life would cause pain to anyone else, I choose to consider that I'm confused about what I want. And I choose to clear that up. That might suggest that I'm asking from a place of pain. That I'm asking from a place of want. That I'm asking from a place of lack. Because I've experienced lack. And now someone else has to do so I can have more. And I'm processing that. It's not that I'm bad or evil. It's just that I have old pain. And I'm healing those old wounds. Allowing myself to heal at a cellular level. And all the way back through my past. So that I can feel much more peace. I choose to feel much more peace. I choose to feel much more love. I'm clearing what doesn't feel like love. I'm clearing what doesn't feel like peace. So that the things that I want don't come at someone else's expense. My success benefits others. So I'm clearing this need to limit the good that I experience. All this old need to set limits on how much good I have. I choose to have an abundance of good. And the more I have, the more I have to share. And I can teach people to be willing to receive. And it gets better and better for everybody. There's no amount that I should have. I shouldn't have just a little. I shouldn't have more than I want. I don't need to play this game of always having more and more. That's how we get ourselves out of shape. When we eat more than we really want. There's all kinds of ways we can overdo it. There's more than enough good here for me. I get to decide what feels good for me. And I'm allowing myself to figure that out. Clearing what doesn't feel like love. clearing what doesn't feel like peace. Allowing myself to be willing to receive plenty of good in body, mind, and spirit. And take a deep breath. And just close your eyes, go inside, and check out what's going on in there. Sorry if anyone's experiencing difficulty with the volume. It should be okay. It was okay when I first tested it. But technology being what it is, it doesn't show up for the same for everybody, unfortunately. I find this with my videos. There are videos that people will write and say, I can barely hear it, and I play it back, and it's like, it's playing back okay for me, so... Technology. Even though technology is not perfect. Feeling nothing but awesomeness. Awesome. Awesome. And thank you, Joanne, for that the suggestion about the loaves and fishes. It's like, yeah. Imagine that after everyone's had their fill, there's more left over than we started with. Because in the receiving, we're also creating. All right. So I usually like to end a presentation with a guided imagery. Some of you may know that I started as a hypnotherapist. Well, I started as an actor, then I became a hypnotherapist. And while I was building my hypnotherapy practice, I was introduced to EFT, and little by little that became my main technique that I use. See, there's always a solution, Louise. Yeah, so I started out as a hypnotherapist. Little by little, started doing more tapping, but I usually end sessions with some guided imagery because who knows what's going on there. Because I still find hypnosis to be such a wonderful, nurturing process. So if you can hang out with me for a few more minutes, we will close out with a guided imagery. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Another deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. A third deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, you breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Go ahead and imagine a healing light of whatever color you like surrounding your body, so that with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light, allowing it to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. Imagine a healing shower flowing down, crystal clear water that's a perfect temperature as it flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, washing away fear, doubt, anxiety, washing away anger, sadness, guilt, shame, washing away pain, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment. Washing these away to reveal the light that you truly are, this unique expression of divine light and love. Allowing more and more of that light to be revealed as that healing shower flows over your forehead, relaxing the muscles in your face, flowing down over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, washing away tension, leaving your shoulders calm, comfortable, and relaxed. Healing shower flowing down your arms, all the way down over your fingertips, down over your chest and your stomach, soothing and relaxing, healing and cleansing. And allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you choose. Allow that healing shower to flow down over your upper and lower back. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to achieve and maintain your optimal level of health and well-being in body, mind, and spirit. As that healing shower continues down over your body, down over your hips and your thighs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles, into your feet, and finally that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much, going at least twice as deep with each number as I count backwards. 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Remembering that each and every time you hear me say the words deep sleep, with your permission and only with your permission, you allow yourself to return to this depth or even deeper quickly, soundly, deeply, and the physical body relaxes, and with that relaxation comes a wonderful sense of calm well-being of body and mind, deeper, deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. And in this calm, comfortable state of mind and body, go ahead and imagine yourself in some really beautiful place. Maybe one of the most beautiful places you've ever been. Maybe one of the most beautiful places you've ever seen a picture of or have heard about. Some place where you really allow yourself to be present to the beauty, the magnificence, the abundance of this world. Allowing yourself to know it is here for you as much as anybody else. And imagine going inside for a moment, just following your breath through your body. It might be like following a treasure map. And find out where X marks the spot and where that inner gold is. Allowing yourself to be aware of that inner gold, finding it just glittering, shining brightly, and allow yourself to be willing to share that brightly with the world. And allow yourself to be aware of any old feelings of shining more brightly than other people, and recognize how wonderful the world will be when everyone is letting their gold shine. And let go of any old programming about, well, I'll wait until someone else does. I'll wait until everybody else does, and then I'll share mine. Give yourself permission to be a trendsetter. Find that gold, share it, let it shine brightly. Allow yourself to be radiant. And imagine that lighting up other people, and they tap into their inner gold and share their light with the world. Absolute win-win situation. Allow yourself to feel really good about that. Shining more and more brightly. You might even imagine the world glowing more brightly. Until from outer space, the world just looks like this gleaming chunk of gold. This giant gold nugget. Allow yourself to feel good about playing your role in that. Allowing yourself to let things get better and better for yourself while you do what you can to make the world a better and better place. Allowing yourself to feel really good about that as we go deeper and deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'll count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling much better than before. Much more aware of your inner gold, much more willing to share that with the world, and much more willing to receive all the rewards that come your way. Tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply, and sleep very well through the night. During the night, you'll dream. The more you dream, the stronger you become. I'm going to ask your unconscious mind to allow at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream. Continuing this healing process in body, mind, and spirit, so that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, and ready to start the day, again powerfully moving forward into that ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. And now go back down to 0, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all these positive thoughts and images, taking them in at a very deep level, so that these positive changes occur easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well-being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. And welcome back. Awesome. And we are exactly at 79 minutes. Thank you so much for participating in this. I'm going to put a link in the comments for Quest 79. And if you have enjoyed this presentation and can help support Quest 79, then that would be super awesome. Thank you. And just super awesome that you are willing to tap into your inner gold and share that with the world. And, keep using this process to clear those fears. Mimi. Yes, Sarah Jane, we are. Thank you, Barb. Yeah, thank you so much for participating in this. Thank you so much for being who you are and doing what you do. And if you enjoy these Facebook Lives, I've got a whole week of them coming up at the end of this month. The Tap Into Your Best Self Challenge. You can find more about that on my website, tapwithbrad.com. Again, thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Take care. Have an awesome rest of your day or evening. And acknowledge that gold and share it. Thank you.